Have you ever smelled something and then realized a second later, it's gone? No source, no explanation, but you know you smelled it. Now here's the uncomfortable question. What if it was never there in the first place? Imagine walking into an empty apartment. No furniture, no people, just quiet. And suddenly there's a smell. Something dusty, a little woody, maybe old. You can almost describe it, but the moment you try to focus on it, it disappears. And that's where one of the strangest things about human perception begins: olfactory illusions. Because sometimes you're not just smelling something, you're helping create it. The brain hates uncertainty. When it doesn't have enough information, it fills in the gaps. And smell is especially vulnerable to this, because it's not a precise signal. It's vague, it's suggestive, more like a hint than a clear message. So, if there's even a small trigger, something familiar in the environment, your brain completes the picture. That's why a faint impression can turn into a full, convincing smell. There's a well-known experiment with wine. People were given white wine, but it was dyed red. Even experienced wine tasters started describing it as rich, berry-like, deep. But chemically, nothing had changed. Their brains weren't detecting a different smell. They were constructing one based on what they expected to experience. The same thing happens with language. In one study, people were given the exact same scent, but one group was told it was ocean breeze, and another was told it was chemical solution. Same smell, completely different reactions. One group found it pleasant, the other didn't. Nothing changed in the air, only in the mind. And sometimes the brain goes even further. There's a real phenomenon called phantosmia, when people smell something that isn't there at all. Smoke, burning, something familiar. No source, no molecules, but the experience feels completely real. This can happen during stress, fatigue, or sensory overload. Like the brain is trying too hard to interpret the world and starts generating signals on its own. But even without extremes, we experience softer versions of this all the time. You might catch a faint scent and suddenly feel like you've been in that exact moment before. Not just remembering it, but feeling it. That's because your brain found a partial match and filled in the rest from memory, almost like the past leaking into the present. Another strange effect. In the dark, smells feel stronger. If you remove visual input, your brain shifts attention to other senses. Not because your nose suddenly becomes more sensitive, but because your brain turns up the volume. The exact same scent starts to feel deeper, more intense. And then there's the illusion of clean air. We think clean air has no smell. But in reality, if you add a very subtle scent and combine it with the right environment, light, space, visuals, your brain reads it as, this is clean, even though technically you just added more to the air. So paradoxically, sometimes you need a scent to create the feeling of no scent. All of this leads to a simple but unsettling idea. You're not just detecting smells, you're constantly interpreting them, completing them, and sometimes even inventing them. A smell can change because of color, because of words, because of memory, because of your state. And sometimes, the most powerful scent you've ever experienced was never fully real.